Hello and welcome to this grammar lesson. In this video, I'm going to talk about a topic which a lot of students find a bit difficult, that is the passive voice. I'm going to do my best to make things easier for you in order to comprehend and use the passive voice properly. So, let's get started. Mainly our presentation will consist of these three parts. First, we're going to start with the definitions, and then how to change into the passive voice, and finally we will have some practice examples. Let's get started. The active voice takes the form A does B, where A is the subject and B is the object. So we have the normal pattern of the English sentence, SVO, subject, verb, object. Like in this sentence, Mike broke the window yesterday. Mike is the subject, broke is the verb, the window is the object. Simple as that. Whereas the passive voice takes the form of B is done by A, and by A here between parentheses, that means it's optional, you can add it or not. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So the window becomes the agent here, it changes place. The object of the original sentence comes first, the window, and then we have was broken by Mike, which is the optional phrase, by Mike yesterday. So simply put, use the active voice only when you know the subject, the doer of the action. When you know it for sure, go for the active voice. If you don't know it, if it is unknown, or maybe it's not important, the event itself is more important than who did it, than the doer of the event, of the action, then go to the passive voice. Simple as that. Now in the second point I'm going to talk about is how we change into the passive voice. I'm going to give you 5 simple steps, and I guarantee to you, if you follow them in any sentence you face, you can change it into the passive voice with no difficulties, provided that you know the irregular verbs, because we're going to use the verb 3, which is the past participle here in this case. The verb 3 in regular verbs is so easy, no problems, but for the irregular verbs you have to memorize them well in order to do, here in the passive voice pretty well. So here are the steps. 1. Put the object in the position of the subject, and please guys be specific here. I know a lot of teachers would tell you that put the object at the beginning of the sentence. That's wrong. In most cases it is valid, but sometimes when you have a question it doesn't work. You need to be more specific with it. So put it in the place of the subject, right? It's like swapping the places, swapping, replacing one another. And then step 2, you add a suitable verb to be. How can I add a suitable verb to be? You have to care about 2 things. First, the tense of the sentence, whether it is in the present, the past, present perfect, whatever it is. The second is you need to care about the number. Is the new subject, the one you changed, right? The object now, the object you changed and put it in the place of the subject, is it singular or plural? You need to care about that. 3. Change the original verb you have in the sentence into its past participle form, which is verb 3. Then put the subject preceded by phrase. It can be dropped if it is a pronoun. You can drop it even if it is not a pronoun. You can omit it. The subject here is called an agent. This is a new terminology for you, agent. The agent is simply the subject of the sentence. You can omit, delete this subject if you like, with no change in meaning. Finally, complete the rest of the sentence as it is. Don't change the rest of the sentence, just do care about these 3 elements: subject, verb, object. The rest, the complement of the sentence, don't touch it. Copy paste it if you like in the computer terminology. So these are the steps. If you follow them, you can change any sentence in the word into the passive voice. And here are some examples for you. They make Toyota cars in Japan. And notice here we have they. The subject is a pronoun. So we change it like this. Toyota cars are made in Japan. Now notice Toyota cars is the object here, is moved into the place of the subject here, Toyota cars. And then we add a suitable verb to be are, because it's a plural, cars, and because the sentence here is in present, so we choose are. And then make here is changed into the verb 3, which is made. And then I continue the rest of the sentence as it is. In Japan we don't touch it. It's the rest of the sentence, right? We drop the subject because it's a pronoun, right? They produced 30,000 cars last year. We can change it like this. 30,000 cars. This is the new subject, if you like. They were produced last year. Help! Somebody has stolen my wallet. And notice we have has stolen, which is the present perfect. So we can say help! My wallet has been stolen. Has been stolen. You see? Where is somebody? We don't need it. We can omit it. It looks awkward if you say my wallet has been stolen by somebody. Well, who did stole it then? Of course it's by somebody you don't know. Scientists have discovered water on the moon. Now you see here the action itself is more important than knowing who is that brilliant scientist who discovered water on the moon. So we can say water has been discovered on the moon, right? Programmers design computers to switch themselves off at night. We can say computers are designed to switch themselves off at night. And finally, the last example is somebody stole a famous Van Gogh painting last night. We can say a famous Van Gogh painting was stolen last night. Alright? Well, in the end, I want you to practice some sentences, guys. This is like homework for you, if you like. Here are the directions. First, the first part is change the sentences below to the passive voice. You can read the sentences, pause the video if you like, and read them carefully, and then change these sentences into the passive voice. Now the second part of your homework is the opposite. Change the sentences back to the active voice. They are all in the passive voice. You have to change them back into the active voice. Again, you can pause the video for your convenience, read them carefully, and then give me your answers. You can answer by commenting below in the ELL group on Facebook. Give me your answers, and in case you have any questions, please do ask me. And I hope this was a useful video for you. I hope you guys now have a clear idea about the passive voice. Thank you, and see you next time.